Yes, Shalom Akim. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Akakwadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and the house of David is rising. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Yes, man. Yahushai is on his way. Yahweh Yahushai is on his way. And we're just meditating on this right here while I'm on my trails, you know, in this peaceful trail. Just finished off, man. So yeah, now take the time to do this video, giving our praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and he's on his way back, and we're gonna see justice. And we've had some examples, the wicked them getting picked off one by one, bit by bit. This kingdom is crumbling, brick by brick is crumbling. So we just have to meditate upon that, think upon that, pray upon that, seek Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai with fear and trembling. You understand? Because he did give us a blueprint to follow, Yahushai. Yeah, and if you want to really get the understanding what is about, the blueprint is all about, you can read Hebrews chapters 12, man, and those preceding verses. So yes, man, we're just looking forward to that time. Yeah, thinking back, just come to me, thinking back on that young daughter of one of the brothers, young daughters who said that Abba Father is coming, and he's coming from the moon. He's on his way and he's coming from the moon. And thinking back when I used to watch a lot of those UFO documentaries on, there's something on the moon, so-called conspiracy theories. The little girl was, she's spot on. She could well be spot on. They're seeing things, so-called anomalies on the moon, and they're describing them as anomalies or UFOs. And there's one anomaly, which there's always been things that they've spotted on the moon that they try to make sense of. But I'm just picking sense. I'm gonna go with what the young girl said, the daughter of one of the brothers. I'm gonna go with what she said. Yahushua is coming back, and he's coming from the moon. So if you just go by that alone, that simple statement, if that you know, because out of the mouth, there's a precept in is it Matthew? Out of the mouths of babes, out of all of the Gospels actually, out of the mouth of babes, Yahushua furnished praise. So if we just go by that, they're seeing anomalies, which is up there now, this undescribable anomaly in one of the equators. They're saying it's either a UFO base or a UFO, something that's very hard to describe, spaceship. And they're saying if it is a spaceship, it's about 2 miles wide. The trajectory of it, when you measure it up and close and personal, when you compare it, they're saying it's about 2 miles wide. So if that is a spaceship, that's a massive spaceship that's on the moon. You know, and you know, just to say that little girl could be right. Yahushua might well be on the moon in his spaceship with his angels. So that just to say that, just to say that. But let me hit a precept, man, because we know Yahushua is on his way back. His angels are here, bringing judgments, preparing the way, man. Yeah, bringing justice on the earth. And Yahushua, what is he going to do when he come back, man? Let's hit some of these precepts. I'm going to entitle this video, Yahushua going to clean up the earth. Right? He's going to clean up the earth. Proverbs chapters 37:23 says, touching the Almighty we cannot find him out. His excellency, he's excellent in power. He is excellent in power and in judgment, and plenty of justice he will not afflict. Right. He, in justice and judgment, he will not afflict. Right. Men do therefore fear him, and respecteth not any that are wise of heart. Right. For fear him, he respecteth not any that are wise of heart. So yes, man, the ultimate Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he's what? Excellent in power and in judgment, and in plenty of justice he will not afflict. So just look forward to that. Meditate on these precepts, Akim. That time when Yahushua come back, we're going to clean up the earth. We've already seen one of the main corruptors, main thieves, corruptors, plunderers, colonizers been taken from the earth. And that for me, when I saw that rainbow, the double rainbow, for me that was a sign. Because if I didn't see that, I might have said, well, maybe not, but I'm going to go with that rainbow, because that was a sign of the Most High covenant that he made with us. He's not going to flood the earth again with a deluge of water. How when he brings what he's going to do, he's going to bring it, he's going to end this world, the earth, with fire, not with water, or flood the earth with water. So Most High uses signs, he uses wonders to give us an idea, an inkling what is taking place. So I'm going to go with the rainbow, the double rainbow that took place, that we saw over the palace, the Queen's palace. That, yeah, she did kick the bucket. I'm going to go with that, right? And that's just a sign, and we know that is a sign of peace. You understand? Proverbs chapters 2, right? So I'm going to title this video, Most High going to bring justice in the earth, because there's not enough justice, as we know. Everything is corrupt. Man is corrupt. Man dominant, man to his injury. That's all you see when you turn on the news. You understand? Proverbs chapters 2 and 7 says, he layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. You hear that? He's a buckler, he's a fighter, he will protect you. He keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. Who are his saints? The hopeful elect. We're his saints. Yeah? And we want to be in that number when the saints go marching in. 9 of Proverbs 2. Then shall they understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. Yea, every good path. When wisdom entereth unto thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. Right. Back to the point in 8. He keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. Then shall they understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. So we're just meditating on these precepts. I'm sending out these energies and these vibrations, bringing balance in the earth. And when Yahushua come, he's going to finish it off, going to finish the job. Here's another precept in Psalms 33 and 5. These are the perfect example that we have, the blueprint that we have to meditate on. 5. He loveth righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of goodness of the Lord. Well, when he come back, it will be full of goodness of the Lord. He's going to clean it up. He's going to clean house. Yeah, the wicked of our own people, they got to go. You understand? The wicked of our own people got to go. And all the other goyim and all the other nations, ultimately, the ultimate wicked is, you understand? The Romans that are back here again doing their wickedness, their perverseness, their abominable things that they do. Here's another precept in Isaiah 1. This is what he's going to do when he come back. Ultimately, this applies to us, our people, right? The wicked of our people. Yeah, Isaiah 1 and 16 says, wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before thine eyes, cease to do evil, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widow. Right, that's what we got to be doing, right, among ourselves. Yeah, that's why we don't get no respect, right? All the wicked of our own people, the 2/3, which the most are going to have to get rid of them anyway. Right, but for those of us who know what time it is, seek to do justice, man. Seek to do righteousness. Wash you, make you clean. Put away evil of your doings. Yeah, these are the house of the Lord, right? We're talking to here, right? Yahshua Allah, Prince of the Power. Yeah, put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do well. before he come back. Learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, and plead for the widow. Right, because there was a lot of corruption that was going on around the times of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Jeremiah, he kind of washed his hands of the 2/3. That's why he said, pray not for these people. But here you have Isaiah pleading with them. You understand? Because he didn't want to see them be destroyed. Yeah, before Yahushua come back. And again, that's what we're doing now to the 2/3 of our own people. Ultimately, they ain't going to listen, but the elect are going to listen. They're going to learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, and judge the fatherless, plead the widow. Plead for the widow. They are the underdogs of our people. We have to plead for righteousness. Yeah, the fatherless boys, the widows, the afflicted. Yeah, because the Most High loveth judgment and justice. So we're going to do that. The elect will do that. Amos chapters 5 and 24 says, but let judgment run down as water and righteousness as a mighty stream. Yeah, there is judgment taking place right now over there in one of the northern tribes. Is it Mexico? One of those places there. But I know it's one of the northern tribes where they're having a lot of floods, flash floods, and a lot of those so-called natural disasters are taking place, man. Earthquakes. Oh, that's where it's just come back to me now. That's where they're having a lot of those electrical magnetic impulses, blackouts right now, because it's been affected by the floods, the waters, the earthquakes that's taking place over there. Is it one of? It's gonna come to me. Well, Lord willing, it comes to me where it is. But I know it's one of the northern tribes that are having a lot of that right now. So-called natural disasters, flash floods, earthquakes, and everything hitting at once. So yeah, Most High is bringing justice. Judgment is running down like water. Yeah, and he's gonna come. He's gonna finish the job. Yahushua gonna finish the job. Psalms 89 and 14 says, justice and judgments are the inhabitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. And these are all the attributes that Yahshua Allah, the judges, yeah, the priest, right? In Ezekiel, he was talking about, he was seeing what the priest was up to. They was worshipping idols, worshipping other gods, polluting the sanctuary. And Ezekiel was really, he was told to go through the city and smite. And that ultimately, that applies to the wicked of our own people. Go through the city and smite, sparing young, old, not sparing young or old, women or virgin. Yeah, Ezekiel, prophet Ezekiel. And that's exactly what he did. Right? And he said, and Yahushua said to him, fear or feel no compassion when you go through and smite. So again, Most are going to come back and go and clean up shop among our own people, because judgment starts in the house of Yahweh. Yeah, the ones that ultimately call themselves the true men of the Lord. Right? He's going to clean house. He's going to start in the house of in the house of the Lord, man. The 2/3 and any of the corruptors in some of these other camps, you're going to clean up shop. You understand what I'm saying? How you going to do it? Justice and judgment are the inhabitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. Yeah. But blessed is the people that know the joyful sound. They shall walk, O Lord, in thy light of thy countenance. In thy name shall they rejoice all the day, and in their righteousness shall they be exalted. You're going to clean us up, man. You're going to lift us up, and we're going to be exalted. Yeah, all the elect. Yeah, the hopeful elect. Ultimately, the elect going to be cleaned up and exalted in thy righteousness. Right. So we're meditating on these precepts, sending this vibration out here, and preparing it for Yahushua when you're going to come back. And you're going to come back, man, with them missiles. You understand? The stage is set, right, to introduce all the prophecies that need to take place. You understand? And they want to make sure, they want to try and bring in their new world order. Most are going to throw a spanner in the works. Ultimately, you're going to throw the missiles at them. You understand? But before that, this is what's taking place. In Proverbs chapters 21 and 3 says, In every way of man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. But the Lord pondereth the hearts. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. You understand? So it's more acceptable to do justice and judgments in the earth. Plead the widow's case, the fatherless boys, the afflicted, the poor, rather than to do sacrifice. That's what he said here. He's saying here. Yeah, those are the more important things. Ultimately, when we do charity, yeah, we're charitable to our brothers, we love our brothers, respect our brothers, the disfortunate among us, right? He said to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Yeah, because ultimately a lot of the priests was putting up sacrifices, polluted sacrifices at that, as a matter of fact, and putting sacrifices before the people, as they was doing, man, not making clean, not making their hands and their hearts clean, forsaking the widows, forsaking the fatherless boy and the afflicted. So we got to get this right, man. We got to get our priorities right. You understand? And it's always good to meditate and ask the Most High to give us wisdom, so we cover all aspects of this truth, so that we're balanced in all aspects of this truth. Because we know the Most High is all about balance. Yeah, a just weight is a delight to the Most High, but an unjust weight is an abomination to Jehovah Hashem Shai. But a just weight is a delight to Jehovah Hashem Shai. That's in Proverbs 11. That precept just keep coming up all over and over and over again when I'm doing my videos. If the Spirit's on me, I might get that to end it off as well. To end off the video. So to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice, and high look and a proud heart and the plowing of the wicked is sin. You understand? The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but of everyone that is hasty only to want. Right. So we don't do things in haste. We meditate upon them. We're prayerful when it comes to serving the Lord, yeah, to the best of our ability, and we're diligent in all things, ultimately to apply balance in all things if we want the Most High's blessing, because serve the Lord with sincerity and truth is better than sacrifice, as we just looked at. As a matter of fact, let's read that one again. Proverbs 21:3 says, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Right? To do justice and judgment. To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. So we do videos, yeah. But as it says there, if we were just doing videos and we were forsaking justice and judgment, that's not going to save us. You understand? That's not going to be the thing that the Most High going to look at. He also wants to see us do justice and judgment. Yeah, and it is a sacrifice to do videos, to give the Most High our time, or to give people our time. But we want to be balanced when it comes to this, to serving the Most High. Are we dealing justly with our brothers and dealing in judgment, righteous judgment that is? Because it is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Are we just doing our videos and not really giving a flying monkeys? You understand? How we treat our brothers. Are we balanced in the judgments? Right? Are we balanced? Yeah, if we rebuke a brother, do we take the time to build him up after? Yeah, that's what you call balance. It's not just about going with this wolf pack mentality that we see some people have. This wolf pack mentality. Oh, is he getting cursed out? Oh, let me join in. And you don't even take the time to see what is going on, to see and to judge justice and righteously. Just jumping on this bandwagon thing. It's not about, this truth is not about bandwagons, man. You have to serve the Lord with trembling, fear and trembling, as it says in Psalms 2. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Bring that precept out. Just going through the Spirit. Psalms chapters 2. it says, yeah, man. Start from 9. It says, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. Yeah. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Why to be wise? Because we're going to be judges of the earth. As a matter of fact, there's times when we might have to judge now when it comes to making certain decisions. And when we judge, make decisions, we judge in righteousness with balance. You understand what I'm saying? Don't do it in haste. Examine before judging. Weigh up the pros and cons, the scales, which is the scales represent in this kingdom. We know it's injustice. You understand? And they use the scale really, then they don't really follow the scales. They don't respect the scales of justice. They don't respect balance. It's all in favor of their own blind judgments. We see all this people under this spell, and everything's coming out about the wicked witch of the north, east, south, and west. Yeah, a lot of whistleblowers are coming out. Irish are speaking about the colonization of the Irish, the Scottish, and the so-called Africans, the Benjamite, the so-called Jamaicans. It's all been coming out, and they've been protesting that wicked witch of the north, east, south, and west. Yeah, that thing that hasn't just started. They've been protesting her visiting Jamaica, saying, what about reparations? And she's not showing no form of conscience towards the colonization that she did, the oppression and the robbing and the murdering. Yeah, the wicked witch of the north, east, south, and west, as we know it, the so-called queen. You understand? So when we judge, it says, be wise now, therefore, O kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth, the true kings. Because when we judge, we're going to have to be judges, right? But we're going to be instructed, ye judges of the earth, serve the Lord with fear and rejoicing and with trembling. So when we judge, we have to do that in justice and in righteousness and fear. Fear in the Lord. Fear in the Lord, bearing in mind the Most High is watching and he's seeing everything when we judge. So we're going to judge fairly and in a balanced way, not blind judging, as what we're seeing people are doing. Turning a blind eye to all the wickedness that the wicked witch of the north, east, south. I'm just giving that, using her as an example, because she just recently kicked the bucket. She's a perfect example. And people know. Everybody knows. It's all out there. And if you don't know, you're probably just turning a blind eye. Because you don't want judging righteousness. Because you're wicked. You understand? These people I'm talking about. The monarchy followers, the monarchy worshippers. Yeah? Turning a blind eye to righteousness and judgment. But that's what they're going to do. Because that's the way that they love to rule. Blindly and unjustly. Well, Yahshua Allah, we don't do it like that. We follow our king, our ruler, Yahushua, which you Christians ignorantly call Jesus. Yeah, we've got a perfect example. And I'll mention Hebrews chapters 12, if you want to get a good idea how to judge in righteousness, or how to serve, or how to work as a man of the Lord. That's just one example, which there's many examples that he gave us. Also in Isaiah 53, another example that he gave us to follow. Through his stripes we are healed. Also in Romans chapters 8:31, who if he be for us, who can be against us? Also in Philippians chapters 2 and around about 9 and 10, every man's head shall bow down before the Most High, and every tongue shall confess when he returns. And also in our Revelations chapters 1 and 7, man, all those that pierced him, they're going to come down and come and bow before him. And also in Luke chapters 19 and 26, man, bring them here and slay them if they don't want. Bring them here, bring them hither and slay them before me, all whosoever don't want to serve Yehovah Yahushua. Right, Luke chapters 19 and 26. Many examples that he gave us. You understand? And I'm going to continue in this verse. It says here, another example, be wise now therefore, you kings, be instructed, yes, ye judges of the earth, serve the Lord with fear and rejoicing and with trembling. Yeah. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way when his wrath is kindled. But a little blessed are all they that put their trust in him. You understand? So these are blueprints that I just gave you, those precepts, and this is the prime example what to do to serve the Most High with fear and trembling. Yeah, to serve the Lord with fear and rejoicing and with trembling. So that's the balance. And when we exercise judgment, we fear the Lord, so we judge righteously and in a balanced way. Again, 12. Kiss the Son, lest of Psalms chapters 2, verses 12. Lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way when his wrath is kindled. But a little blessed are all they that put their trust in him. Yeah, kiss the Son, lest he be angry. So serve him in sincerity and in truth and in fear and in trembling. That's how you get the balance, and that's a perfect blueprint that we follow. So let's get back now. That's just going through the spirit, man. That wasn't planned. Yeah, here's another precept in Psalms 113 and 5 says, Who is like unto the Lord our God, who dwelleth on high? He humbleth himself to behold the things that are in heaven and the things in the earth. So Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, yeah, the ultimate powers of the earth, they humble themselves, yeah, to behold the things that are in the heaven and in the earth. He riseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth the needy out of the dunghill. Yeah, and that's us, man. The poor, that's us, the afflicted, the poor, the fatherless boy. Yeah, and the women among us, some of them are widows. You understand? And a lot of us are fatherless boys who have risen without our fathers. Some of us don't even know who our fathers are. But what does it say? How Yahushua deals with us? He riseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the needy out of the dunghill. Right. That's all the poor and needy, the afflicted. That he may set him with the princes, even the princes with the princes of his people. That he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. Right. Now, you can't get more humble than that. Yahushua going to lift you up, the poor, out of the dust, and lift up the needy out of the dunghill. That he may set him with princes, even with the princes of his people. Yeah. And who are the real princes? We are the chosen people of the Most High, the chosen royal priesthood. All we have to do was obey and keep his commandments. But it's okay, because right now we're getting the experience of what it's like to be on the left-hand side, so that we can be more balanced judges on both sides, left and right. And the real princes are here, back here. Yeah, the prophets, the princes, the mighty men, right? And all of us are all back here, the men of the Lord, right? So that he may set him with princes, even the princes of Yahweh, of his people. Yeah, and the ultimate princes of the power, that's us. And the prince, the king of kings, Lord of lords, as it says in Revelation 5:5, is Yahushua. Ultimately, Yahweh is the king, the ultimate king. And under him is Yahushua, and under him is King David. And you got the mighty men, you got the 144,000. Everything is in order. The Almighty God, right, as it says here. And this is how it's going to end off. Yeah, like I started off talking about Most High going to bring justice and judgment in the earth. This is how he's going to do it, just like he did to all the other kings that reigned. The Babylonians, as it says in Daniel's dream of the image, when he was breaking it down to Nebuchadnezzar. The Babylonians, the Medo-Persians. The Babylonians were the gold. The Medo-Persians were represented the silver. The bronze represented the Grecians, the bronze, and molten clay, the Romans, which are back here today, the Romans, the molten clay, and the iron and the molten clay, the modern day Romans. And you can talk about the ancient Romans. They're back here again as modern day Romans, doing what they do, abominations and abominable things. which the Most High, what he going to do here in Revelation, just like he predicted through Daniel's dream, as it was broken down in Daniel's dream, Daniel chapter 7, Revelation chapters 18:21 says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it unto the sea, saying, thus with violence. Right, that's what happened to all those other kingdoms. Right? The Babylonians, the Medo-Persians, the Grecians, and the Romans. With violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and it was thrown down, yeah, with violence, and shall be found no more at all. Right? And also the modern day Romans, this is what we're waiting for. Most are going to clean up shop with justice, and going to do it with his great millstone. Right? A mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it unto the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers, right, get ready, justice and judgment is going to take place. He's going to clean up shop. Harpers and musicians and the pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman or whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of the millstone shall be heard no more at all in her. Right, not even a millstone. None of these workers, none of these worker factory buildings and all the pollution that they bring with them, they ain't going to be found anymore. Most are going to clean it up for once and for all. The sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. Right, no light and no candle. It sounds like an EMP to me. A blackout. And the voice of a bridegroom and the bride shall be heard. And this is going to be the end of all things. The last final curtain call. Blackout, and it ain't going to be repaired. It's going to be for once and for all. Electric magnetic pulse. Right. EMP. Electric magnetic impulse. And the light of a candle shall no more at all in thee. Right, that's when the Most High licks it with the missiles, man. And the voice of a bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For the merchants, take your time, let it marinate. Take your time, breathe. Bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by their sorceries were all nations deceived. Right. Hear that? For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. Kala Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Bakar Kodash. Most are going to clean up the earth. How you going to do it? You're going to clean up the earth. You're going to bring justice and judgments in the earth. And that's how the Most High rules. Back to the end off with this last one here. In Proverbs chapter 21 and 3 says, to do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. You hear that? To do justice and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Because how? That is the Most High. How does he rule? Psalms 89 and 14 says, judgments and justice are the inhabitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go there before thy face. Right. Justice and judgments are the inhabitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. In the name shall thy rejoice. In thy name shall they rejoice all the day, and in thy righteousness shall they be exalted. Giving our praises to Yahweh Shai, and to Wada to Yahweh Shai for giving me the spirit to do this video. How the Most High, we're looking forward to that time when the Most High going to rule. He's going to come back and clean up shop by way of the stone, the great millstone. He's going to end it off for once and for all, just like he did to all these other nations. Yeah, with power and the spirit of Yahweh Shai. And he's going to clean up the earth. He's going to bring back justice and judgments are thy inhabitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. And we're going to witness it. Lord willing, we live to witness that through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shai. So shalom to all the sincere Akim out there. And the house of David is rising, and everything the wicked have done to us, past, present, and future, is falling upon their own head. Till the next one.